Hey everyone, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more CK3, a Game of Thrones mod. We're playing on the Feast for Crows scenario. This campaign is a full gameplay video of a culmination of my singularly released Young Griff episode. So like, sub, all that good YouTube stuff. Let me know feedback and suggestions in the comments. Now let me know in the comments, who do you think Aegon Targaryen's true identity is? I tend to believe he's just a young man of Valyrian descent. I don't think he's like the son or the relative of Meleys the Monstrous or Rhaegar or a Bright Flame descendant. I really think he's no one of importance. I think watching House of the Dragon, when Otto was saying he has the Conqueror's name, he has the Conqueror's crown, he has the Conqueror's sword, has all these symbols, and it makes me think, well, maybe it's just the idea that he's a Targaryen. It would be good for Westeros to unite after the ravenous wars of the Five Kings. So I'm going to play that Aegon believes himself to be Rhaegar's son, but the possibility is still there that he needs to be a peaceful ruler and unite the realm. So in this particular series, we're going to have to win the war. We've got a decision to make in regards to Daenerys and essentially try and piece together back Westeros. We also have to deal with my supposed brother Jon Snow as well on the wall. So it's going to be a lot of fun playing as Aegon Targaryen. But overall, let me know in the comments, who do you think Aegon truly is? I'm more of the opinion that Varys or Varys is a Targaryen or a Blackfire more so than Aegon. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's got his bits and bobs. Okay, so here is Aegon. We just had to wait for him to pop up. I went to observer mode and then waited for his host to arrive because you can't actually straight up play as him in a faction. Okay, so we're currently at war with Tommen. He has 16,000 under his control. He has a Baelor Brightsmile of House Hightower, and we've got a Rosbury, a Duskendale. We've got a bunch of Targaryen loyalists. So, as it's been a little while since we've jumped in, we have 65,000 under our control. We're in the Crowned Lands now, and it looks like most of the Seven Kingdoms is rebelling. Half of the Reach has joined us, which is nice. Edmure Tully has died, and it's been given to Arya Stark, who is technically the last Tully. I guess like Brynden got passed over. Stannis has declared his independence. We've got Doran down in the south as well. My uncle, and then we've still got to deal with Tommen. So, I don't want to be too bloodlusty, and I want to try and rule peacefully. So we've got Robert Aaron in the Vale declaring his kingship too. A lot of pretenders. We've got the Greyjoys there, and I guess the Boltons rule the north. Alright, so let's continue on. So Young Griff, 19. Here are all our claims. So we're going to play that. Look, he believes himself to be Aegon, Rhaegar's and Ilya Martell's son, but there's always the possibility that Varys and Illyrio could be lying to him. So we just want to try and bring peace to Westeros. We don't want to bring like dragon riding and fire and blood necessarily. Maybe his descendants might. I wonder, yeah, if we've even got the dragon riding ability potentially. Alright, so let's see how we do. So, bunch of allies we can call. We've also got to have our coronation and win this war against Tommen. So, we want to try and utmost have peace in Westeros, consolidate everyone under the Iron Throne. So we can go through here and call our allies to war, because we are going to need everyone we can. House Sunderland of the Sisters, House Mooten, the Brackens, the Lonmouths. Let's try and get as many of them as we can, and then we'll try and be just and fair to essentially the people that we are now warring, and John Con is helping us out. Okay, so we also have the Golden Company too, but 19, 18 command, a pretty just decent character overall. We've got our small council made up of Westerosi Valyrians, and we'll look to change that and bring in the Lords. We've also got to marry off Aegon as well, as we are siding with the Hightowers and essentially the Dornish conspiracy. We won't marry inward like the Targaryens traditionally would. we'll marry outward. We want stability for the realm. We're not trying to solidify like dragon riding traits. Okay. And whatnot. So we don't want to anger the faith either. Okay, so we need a new maester. So I want him to be more of the like Jaehaerys the Conciliator rather than his namesake Aegon or Maelor. Alright, so a bunch of houses are now coming to help us out, which is nice. And Tommen, oh wait, we've just won against Tommen there. Interesting, so the Tyrells sided with him overall, even though we basically rose them up from being humble stewards. So the Red Dragon is triumphant, and Tommen Baratheon has been imprisoned. So do we even believe his claim that he's actually the son of Robert, when in actuality he's probably one of the main heirs to the Westerlands and Casterly Rock? So my rule will begin. We've deposed Tommen, and we're looking for a Grand Maester. I guess Pycelle is here. He's probably backing us. Refused marriage trait has now ended, so I can look to marry. I think we'll try and marry one of the high-ranking ladies in Westeros. I don't even know who that would be. Who would be an ideal match for Aegon? Who is even alive at this point as we move away from a feast for crows into the dance for the dragons now? We're at war with the Boltons for some reason. Okay, so the aftermath. So, oh, okay, interesting. So we technically, oh, the Targaryen host actually started from the fingers with Peter Baelish. Interesting. So we'll give that back. All right. So, oh, this is really cool. So we can actually choose. So we can be the son of Meleys the Monstrous, Rhaegar, a bright flame. There is so many lost Targaryens, so he might be like a small, tiny percent. I'm no one of importance. I'm really the son of Rhaegar. Which one do I choose? You gain a secret. I'm no one of importance, but everyone else thinks. But then there's like a secret that they could unveil. I think we'll go no one of importance. I think I want to play with like that. Okay, so Tommen we still have to deal with. And Daenerys, well, there's even the thing, like, is Daenerys actually the whole thing? The thing is, the amount of baby swaps there are in A Song of Ice and Fire is kind of ridiculous. We've got the Mance and Gilly's baby swap, and then Daenerys is... Some people theorize that, like, even she might not be who she says she is. I guess we know now in the TV show Jon is. So, it looks like Daenerys has married Illyrio Mompatis, and she's pregnant with him, so we can't marry her. We can't invite her to court my auntie. So, yeah. Maybe we're better off marrying another Westerosi girl. And she has dragons and stuff. So, we're going to pardon all the other captives. So, we got Mace, Cersei, and Tommen Baratheon to deal with. Okay. So, Mace getting caught up because Marjorie is married to Tommen. So we have Beth Cassell, Rory Cassell's daughter, sorry. And we'll look to just ransom her back to the north, to House Cassell. Okay, so let's build some roads to King's Landing. We're also going to have to do our coronation as well. We're going to need to commission a crown to do so, so we will need a little bit of money. Even that, choosing the crown, we can't create one because we haven't got the money, but we also need a court smith. So let's just go with Dulla. I need to pick which crown I want to. There's a fair few Targaryen ones. Okay, so Maester Aemon is still alive, 103. He is the head of House Targaryen. There's only 9 living members. Oh, okay, like Bright Flames and stuff. And various cadet branches, I suppose. So, unfortunately, we can't even marry Daenerys even if we wanted to. So, we probably shouldn't bring her over and her dragons. Okay, so let's negotiate with Mace Tyrell. So, he didn't join us. He did kind of get caught up with it. We could banish, make him join the Night's Watch. I think that's what we're better off to do. And then give Willis the lordship, and then we'll try and, I guess marry Marjorie, maybe? It just depends what happens to Tommen. But the High Tower, I'm surprised they didn't side with us. That's just annoying. So... Yeah, so Lord Jon Snow is commander on the wall. Yeah, so Mace Tyrell will be banished, 46. I could pardon him, but I think we'll banish him. Cersei will look to banish 2. And see what they say. And then Tommen... We'll look to banish him as well. Oh, wow, okay. So he's going to refuse. We could get him to renounce... Oh, we can't even get him to renounce his claims. We might have to get rid of Tommen, I'm afraid. Join the Night's Watch. He's going to refuse. And he will be dealt with. Okay, so let's see how Cersei and Mace do. So she's now sent to Essos because she can't join the Night's Watch, and Lord Mace Tyrell has joined the Night's Watch too, and now we've got to deal with Marjorie. Okay, so my prestige is down. We still need to have a coronation. We are still an uncrowned ruler, and a bunch of the Seven Kingdoms have rebelled. So Willis has now taken Highgarden, and we need heirs quickly. So Stannis holds Storm's End, Driftmark, and Dragonstone. Doran, my uncle, sits in Dawn. Huh, she's married to Tyrion Lannister. So House oh, it's going to be the cadet. No, okay, so interesting. So he's decided not to do a cadet branch. So Willis, Loras is on the Kingsguard. I'm going to ask Willis. He's not going to accept. If I do a grand wedding, would that do? Everyone just doesn't like me because I haven't been coronated and anointed yet. It would be easier for the public to accept Marjorie because she was already the queen. Marcella has now fled to the Westerlands. And if she dies, Stannis gets the Westerlands. Because they still believe that she is half Baratheon. She's probably the heir to the Westerlands anyway. Arya Stark, I don't even know if that is Arya Stark. It could be. I reckon so. Marrying a piper. So she's probably, I guess if we believe her to be that. I don't think she's Jane Poole. And then we've got the Boltons in the north, which if they bring stability, I don't really mind. So interesting. So the high towers that supported us. So I didn't realize that Marjorie's half high tower. Because she's a red wine, her grandmother. Okay, so if we do a grand wedding, maybe we do that. Maybe we marry Marjorie Tyrell. God, she's had so many husbands. And then, like, the Lannisters that remain have intertwined there. So, we're going to have to build up and eventually go after these false kings that have declared themselves away from our rule, I suppose. Okay, so we're going to negotiate with Willis, who has somehow lost an arm. His father, Mace, I suppose siding with the Lannisters. Once we landed, he could have switched, but he didn't, so he's been sent to the wall. And Tommen could have joined the Night's Watch too. But I guess it's gone to Marcella now. So we're going to have a grand wedding, and Aegon, young Griff, is going to marry Marjorie Tyrell. She's got some pretty good traits too. And then hopefully we can start bringing back Targaryen rule and stability. We could go maybe hunting for dragon eggs and stuff, but I think we want to play as sort of the conciliator. I'm going to ask the Iron Bank for a loan so we can host this grand wedding. A bloody wedding, the red wedding, okay. Confirm. And then Aegon is going to have to, well, conquer the Seven Kingdoms again. This time without dragons, or maybe through diplomacy. So, let's try and marry Marjorie. And I guess we have to keep an eye on Daenerys and her children and stuff. The thing is, if we bring over Daenerys, bringing over dragons and chaos, I don't know if the people in Westeros we want to rule would overly like that too much. Okay, yeah, so Alena Redwine is there. Mother of Mace Tyrell, the Queen of Thorns. Interesting. Okay, so just trying to cozy up with her as she's still a massive player in this world. So I think once we get coronated, stabilized, we look to go after Stannis Baratheon, because I guess in this alternative timeline, he knew about the Bolton's plot. He knew about essentially going north was a big risk, and he bided his time and has sat in the Stormlands now that Aegon has rocked up. So we'll try and force him to bend the knee, or he will be destroyed, I suppose. I don't even know who we should give the Westerlands to overall. Willis is not too happy. I don't know what happened to his arm. I knew he was a cripple, but I guess he got really hard done by. Not liking overly the marriage, but hopefully it will be good. And we're going to try and convince Marjorie over to our side. But yep. I do. Young Griff is going to marry Marjorie Tyrell. The grand wedding has continued, and the banquet is going to begin. For some reason, Lady Arya, half Tully, has now came down. We've also got Captain Robar being a fool. A lot of text, a lot of dialogue, unless there's interesting characters. Nothing really overly too much. Yeah, I don't know why we would invite Lady Arya, who is currently wearing a crown in the Riverlands, declaring herself basically king of the rivers and hills, or queen. Okay, so Soloris actually likes me, which is interesting. He's currently on the King's Guard, so yeah, marrying Marjorie is probably another good reason, because the Tyrells still hold a lot of influence. I think we would rather make an alliance with the red wine. It is now time for the ceremony. So Loras is going to watch. I wonder if he's going to be looking at me more than her. Interesting. Doran's going to be there too, along with Willis. Okay, a very weird and bizarre practice, but so be it. Oh, and instantly our actions have booned some fruit, I suppose. No, we don't want that one. Maybe just try and convince her. And then do we try and like let young Griff grow out his hair at one point? Maybe. It's grown a little bit back now. Okay, so come on, don't be silly. It will be alright. So 19, she's beautiful. She's got some nice traits too, and has a lot of claimants for Highgarden. So the wedding has now been a great success. A lot of the High Lords have been invited. So Aegon has officially been wed. We now do have enough money to have our coronation. And we've got to pick which crown. I think we might even go with the crown of the Conciliator. Maybe not the Conqueror. I do even think that, like, it wasn't Aegon's crown lost in Dawn at one point? So there's this whole thing in the books that, there's the theory that the Dornish actually have, or the Ironwoods potentially have, Aegon's crown. They also may have some other artifacts of Rhaenys when she died there. And all that awful stuff that happened to her. Okay, so Frey now holds Rosby. He's going to come bend the knee. There's also Freys everywhere. Okay, so we can commission a crown. So Crown of Fire and Blood, I guess that's Aegon's. Crown of the Faith, Crown of the Freehold, a Crown of Sun and Spear. Interesting, because we're half Dornish. Because each crown also gives you different abilities. So I think is the Crown of the Faith. It's probably not our piety. Shocking. I think that's the Crown of Jaehaerys the Conciliator. Stewardship, Prestige is probably not bad too. Get that up. And then the Faith's Opinion, because we don't want a Faith Militia uprising again. And we'll go with that then. And now can I wear the crown? Not until I've been coronated. We also should have heaps of artifacts. I don't know if we should have Aegon's armor, but we should have Blackfire or Dark Sister. Potentially. So let's go and point a manager there. But we do have... Oh, we've got the Baratheon banner. We've also got a bunch of the Dragon Skulls, so we'll look to put them up. Okay, just a minor spy was discovered. So we've also got to set up the small council. We've also... Okay, so Roose Bolton is our Master of Whisperers. It's probably not a bad idea. I don't think... or maybe... Nah. Stones. Oh, that's cool. So House Allah has the beloved circle, the crown of Rhaenys. Interesting. Because Aegon's crown was lost in Dawn, and same with hers. Interesting. I thought the Ironwoods probably have it, but the Allahs in this have it. Cool. The Bracken wants me to join this war against the Freys. We just don't have that much crown authority. We haven't really got the prestige overly either. So I'm going to decline. Walder the Queenmaker. Interesting. Oh, is that got to do with Arya Stark claiming herself Queen of the Riverlands? Being one of the last Tully descendants, because Brynden didn't want it. Oh, and Walder Frey is now dead. Interesting. We can start a legend, and we can host our coronation too. So let's do that in the Red Keep. We need an officiant, so let's bring in the High Septon. And we'll let him do it. And the Faith is still going to be very much involved. We want to try and get them on side, and we're going to use the Crown of the Faith too. The Crown of the Conciliator, because we're looking to mend Westeros and not rule it by fire and blood. But so far, oh wait, we've got another son too. Oh wait, fantastic. So we'll call him Jaehaerys. So Rhaegar after my father, and then Jaehaerys. We maybe could have called my son Jaehaerys too. That might my firstborn. That'd be fine though. We've still got plenty of Targaryen names. Both I and Marjorie are incredibly fertile. So it begins. The coronation ceremony of King Aegon, young Griff. And hopefully a bunch of lords in Westeros come and bend the knee so we don't have to conquer them outright. Still got to redo some of the royal houses too. Okay, so bring the lords before me. We're going to ask as many of them to come. I also might change up my drip too. Okay, so first of all we have Lord Aunton Merryweather. I don't want to drink myself silly on the fizzy drinks that King's Landing provides. We don't want to go all Bobby B. Okay, so now we should be getting more legitimacy. But Tommen has been overthrown, Mace has joined the Night's Watch, and Cersei's gone east. And we'll go through where the other houses sit too. But thank you all for coming. And we can finish the coronation. Loras is quite happy. But I'm a good and dutiful husband to the Lady Marjorie, who now has children. And we can set up the chronicle now of young Griff. Okay. But still plenty to do in this young Griff campaign. Still got to deal with Jon and Dany at some point, and we're probably going to have wars, bring it, constant wars. Oh, okay, so he's 27 diplomacy, 90... Wait, so it's actually changed. Interesting. He's learning 16. Stewardship, 20. Maybe go with thoughtful. We were going down martial quite a bit too, though. So overall, he's a pretty good model of a king. Okay, and I guess we look to try and pardon. We could... No, I don't want to. Threaten them. No, okay, right. Let's offer vassalization. Oh, right, so... Oh, wait. Oh, okay, so... Yeah, because House Florent, like, sided with Stannis, technically. Okay, so we have to rejig that. Alright, and we'll try and, yes, stay loyal to Marjorie. It'll be good for the kingdom to have a bunch of Targaryen sons. And at some point we've also got to marry out our children too, or maybe to just other houses. Okay, so Baelor Hightower has died, one of our main backers, and looks like Illyrio has had some children with Daenerys. Mopatis. Interesting. Okay, and some other children. So, just keep an eye on them in Pentos. Okay, so we've only gotten rid of Tommen because he refused to take the black. I would have liked him to nearly take the Westerlands, but he wouldn't bend the knee. Alright, let's try and change his drip. I could change his hairstyle, but I think I might keep it short. Okay, let's put him in some Targaryen regalia. Interesting. Okay, so this is how the Seven Kingdoms is shaping up. 4 of them openly rebel. It's going to be hard to deal with Doran because he kind of helped us in this war, and I'm half Martell. So maybe in the next generation we go after him. Okay, so Stannis sits in the Stormlands, and he also has Dragonstone and House of Valarians supporting him. What's this? Oh, Peter Baelish owns Harrenhal. Okay, so I think we make plans and preparations to go for Stannis. We're going to have to go after Robert Arryn. We're going to have to go after Euron too. And the Boltons in the north are bringing stability, and they seem to be okay, which is fine. Alright, so if we depose Stannis, Shireen, Marcella, and the Estemonts. Interesting. I love how they just forgot about the Estemonts in the show. House Turtle, one of George's favourite houses. He always has some turtle regalia on him. Who rules the Stormlands? No. Estemonts are like fuming, and then like Gendry gets it. Oh, we still got to deal with Edric too. Okay, so we're going to declare war upon Stannis Baratheon, as he still claims himself to be king. We will call the Tyrells, the Ironwoods, and a bunch of our allies here, but we have to spend prestige. I'm sure that'll work out in the end, but we're going to need as many men as possible. It seems like Marcella in the Westerlands as well is under us, so that's interesting. The thing is, she might be able to bind the Westerlands and the Stormlands. Doran, dear nephew, of course, I'll join, so Martells are going to help us out. House Goodbrook too. And we need as many as possible because we are obviously not fighting with dragons. House Florent is going to come and bend the knee because Selyse is of House Florent. 24, I am the best commander at the moment, so we'll leave that. Oh my god, Stannis is still a massive commander in his own right. The Ironwoods are coming, and I actually, no, wait, 7, we're actually outnumbered. So, although we've got the Crown lands and a fair decent chunk, of the Westlands. Oh no, Jaehaerys has died sickly. Oh, that's really sad. Hopefully that doesn't break young Griff too much. Okay, so let's move south to rally up with the Ironwood Spears. House Massey too. And where are my Martell allies? Where is my Uncle Doran? Oh, he's landed north here, near the Bar Emmons, and crushed a small army of them. Okay, so we're going to slink into the woods here, past Storm's End. If we can get around to Massey's Hook, that would be ideal. Nice. The Ironwoods are not too far behind. And let's go and deal with Stannis. And then the future of House Baratheon. I probably should give it to the Emmons. Not Emmons, I was talking about Bar Emmons before. The Estemonts, I think. Because they are of Baratheon, which is Targaryen blood, technically. If you believe Orys to be Aegon Targaryen's bastard brother, I tend to believe so. Ironically, the Baratheons could have more Targaryen blood than me at the moment. Okay, so we've just crushed Stannis. Let's move back here, because that's another good fight. Marjorie's becoming a military theorist, to be fair. She'd be all down for besieging Storm's End, like her father sieging it out. That's maybe why Stannis hates Aegon. Like, goddamn. Daughter of Mace. Queen now. Alright. To be fair, I would like him to bend the knee. I might even allow him to be Lord of Storm's End, but he believes him to be the one true king of Westeros. Call to war, no. So let's siege out Storm's End. Rhaegar, my son and heir, is lost in thought. Storm's End has now fallen. Let's try and take out some of the surrounding castles. And strategic impasse. Let's go with that. Let's go with both of those Kingsguard members and Knights' opinion. And we're doing okay now. I did aggressively attack So we have lost a good chunk of our military forces, but the Martells helping us has been massive. Let's move up to Horncross, a cadet branch of the Baratheons, and Stannis has ultimately been destroyed. Didn't go up and help Jon and the Night's Watch, the only king to help out the Night's Watch when they called. Obviously ended up throwing. It's going to be interesting to see. Oh, we've had another son. What happens to Stannis in the books? I think we'll call him Aenys or something. I don't. Maegor is probably a little bit too on the nose, so I think we'll go with Aenys. I think Stannis is probably going to defeat the Freys in the books, but I think he's going to ultimately lose to Ramsay. There's all these theories as well that like the Winterfell roof is going to cave in, and then that's how Ramsay rises up. Okay, so looking at the victory points, taking those small castles here in the Brush Mill is going to give us more victory points because we've already hit the cap of destroying the army. So it looks like Stannis the Manus is no more, and we've got to ultimately decide what to do with him. So the Stormlands will submit, but they do seem to rebel. They've still got that Durrandon rebellious nature. So Boris Blunt has died. Arek, he seems pretty good. 34. Let's go with him. He's massive. He's of giant's blood. Alright, so not too long now. We've won countless victories. We need a new Master of Arms at some point. But overall, House Tyrell is really helping us out. Go with Marshall because we're still conquering and fighting with Aegon. He's still commanding a lot of military forces. And Arek has joined the Kingsguard, not of House Cargyle. That would be quite funny. Another Marshall perk. Estamont if they die out. So maybe we just leave that then. We're trying to bring peace and stability to Westeros. We're playing as a just young Griff. I don't want to rule with fire and blood. That's why I married Marjorie already, the queen to two other kings. The third queen she's been. I have the crown of the Conciliator, not the Conqueror, as Daenerys is in Pentos with Illyria Mompatis and her children, and the dragons are in Essos. Okay, so we need a new steward. Let's try and bring one in. Strongbox is probably the best. We need a new Master at Arms. A Valyrian soldier called Aemond. And we'll go with a new Master of Ships too. So I think we'll go by a mixture of merit and renowned. And then we've got to deal with the Riverlands and the Vale. I've had another son. We'll call him Balon. Unfortunately, my son Jaehaerys died. A little bit of irony. Aenys. But we've got a lot of good traits now with Marjorie and myself. Okay, so Marcella rules the Reach and the the Westlands and the Stormlands through her Baratheon father and her mother Cersei, who's actually died. Interesting. She still has Maya Stone as a sister. So let's have a look at the Baratheons. There's only 2 living members. She has a Martell daughter. Interesting. So the only 2 is Stannis, yeah. Well, the thing is, we had to get... Wait, she married the other fossil away. Oh, because then there's the red and the green apple thing. Interesting. Okay, yeah, Stannis would have refused. That's the thing. So it could pass to the Estamonts eventually. So... we'll leave it at that. And also, she married Trystane of House Martell, so my cousin. So, yeah, I think we leave her. So, Tyrion has actually fled to Dorne and married Arianne. So, Torrhen hasn't got his affliction. So, interesting. So, the Lannisters have just put themselves really well. For some reason, the Crakels hold... Storm's End. Oh, it's because they are the regent of them. Interest in the Boars rule. Anyway, we've still got to deal with Arya Stark, who's calling herself Queen of the Riverlands, and we've got to deal with the Arryns. I think we'll go for the Arryns here today because they hold Harrenhal. Because as you can see here, there's a huge chunk, and then the Farrings and Tarth are for some reason independent. We'll have to look at to go against them. I don't know why. They're not a part of my kingdom. Maybe because if it's a bug or something. I don't know. Anyway, Robert Aaron of the Vale. Whoa, 18. He looks crazy. His primary heir is Harold Harding. Interesting. And Arya Stark rules the Riverlands. I think we go after... Yeah, I think we're going to go... I would go to war with the Riverlands because technically that's closer. However, because Harrenhal is under Peter Baelish in their control, we're going to have to get rid of Harrenhal and that territory first, the heart of the Riverlands, before we can move into the Riverlands itself. Okay, so Aegon has declared war upon Sweet Robin of the Vale. And we're going to make the young falcon bend the knee. And, yeah, we'll see. We could actually give rise to House Harding too, potentially. I'm not too sure. Okay, so let's raise our banners and look to go to war with the Vale. Now, we should be able to get a lot of points, because thankfully they've taken a lot of Riverland territory. Sir Meryn Trant has passed away, so we're going to need a new Kingsguard member. We're slowly... well, it's just through natural causes. We're slowly getting rid of Cersei's Queensguard. Okay, so let's intercept this Vale army. Roland Storm Connington, Lord of the Red. I think Ronald Connington, we appoint to the Kingsguard. Young Griff. Obviously, my father... Well, my adoptive father, John Conn, basically raised me. So... Ronald is going to be quite happy. That's why I'm called Young Griff of Griffin's Roost. Okay, so we're fighting... Whoa. Jon Royce. Whoa! What the heck? Oh my god. We're going to need way more reinforcements after that. Would you believe it? We've just lost the battle there. 38, Jon Royce. Got the old gods with him. Oh my god. Okay. Just absolutely crushed me. I think I just gave rid of Balerion's skull there by accident, just skipping through. 70 years of age. Jon Royce of Runestone. Absolute Chad. Crushed Aegon. Okay. So we're going to move back to the Red Keep. I'm going to get some Ironwood Spears. Another 10,000 too. House Ironwood being one of our major supporters. Okay, let's move and go again against Royce. With the help of the Dornish. And we've only just beaten them yet there. Yikes. So although that Robert Aaron is ruling as a sickly lordling, Jon Royce, absolute Chad, runestone infused armor. The old gods are smiling in front of him. Also, he must be getting a buff because of the God's Eye there. And the the old god's magic there. We've also got, like, Greenman and Antlerman and stuff. Yeah, maybe that was it, why he won. That's too funny. Too many coincidences there. Alright, we're going to siege Harrenhal and take it. Although Peter Baelish helped us. Cousin's Love, okay. So, Princess Arianne wants to persuade us. 35, she's married to Tyrion. Although Aegon probably wants to, no, it's probably not good for Westeros and the Seven Kingdoms that we're trying to rebuild. So, no, we're going to basically stop that. Maybe his descendants might be a little bit kooky though. Alright, Massey wants to come in and bend the knee. Harrenhal is about to fall. And we'll go down and deal with the Arryns again. Nice, we got them on the back foot. Let's try and take as much territory in and around Harrenhal as we can. Because the thing is with the Vale, once you get past the Bloody Gate, it's actually quite hard to navigate through that mountainous terrain. So, although the Arryns have Harrenhal and this surrounding territory here, it's actually a disadvantage to them because we're just like capping them. We will need to take the Eyrie at some point. But we'll allow the AI to try and take as much, and we've taken a good chunk in and around Harrenhal too. Okay, so we've just gone up to the Eyrie, and let's assault, which we use a lot of our men, but we should be able to wrap things up. And we've managed to capture Robert Aaron of the Vale. He's had a son, Crispin. We'll ask him to be our cupbearer and be a steward at King's Landing. A guest in quotation in quotation marks. Okay, so House Aaron has bent the knee. So then we've got a decision what to do with Robert Aaron. So who is... married a Frey. Man, the Freys and the bloody Lannisters are everywhere. So unfortunately we didn't imprison him. So Harold Harding could inherit, and then he's actually got a son who's half Frey. So I suppose we hold him. The thing is, Lord Robert Aaron's probably not going to last too long anyway. So I suppose we let him stay in the Vale. 12 living members? What? Oh, it's because it's the cadet branch. He is feeble though, but he did have a son, which is interesting. Okay, so just giving a little bit ahead here. We need to replenish and repair before we go against Arya Stark, who calls herself Queen of the Riverlands. So the Stormlands have been subdued. We've managed to give it to Marcella Baratheon, who has married a Martell. So a Martell through Lannister and Baratheon blood will rule the Stormlands and the Westerlands with the last name Martell. Hilarious. I've had another son. I've had, what, 5 sons in a row? He's named Aegon. We'll call him Daemon, just to mix things up. But, yeah, we're pumping out kids. Okay, so there's a new Lord of Pentos. So what's happened there? So, did Illyrio die? Okay, so Daenerys has 2 children with Illyrio Monpassas, and she has a new spouse. So, I'm kind of happy that we're keeping the dragons over there. What happened to him? So his second son with... No, wait, the leader is not even his relative. Okay, so he had a bunch of other children. So Daenerys is just over there doing stuff. Okay. Alright, time to go to war with Arya Stark, as she calls herself the Queen of Riverrun. Jon is still alive. She has a son with the Lord of Piper. And Brynden is the last Tully. That's 70. Yikes. Poor guy. Edmure died early on. I don't even know if this is actually Arya Stark. So the Waynwoods actually have more of a claim after her. Interesting, interesting. We could go with Robert or... Oh yeah, because Robert Aaron is half Tully, isn't he? Technically. Okay, well, time to go to war with Arya Stark. Make her bend the knee, or otherwise she will be destroyed, I suppose. Alright, let's go into the Riverlands now. We can use Harrenhal as a forward operating post. Alaric of Ironwood, 49. Oh, nice. I finally become the head of the house. Really? I wasn't? But that means poor old Aemon Targaryen, the old dragon, at 115 years of age, has died. Oh, and there's a new ruler in the north. Roose Bolton has died. Ramsay is not legitimized. Interesting. So we've lost our Master of Whisperers. So it's bounced to Alasan, who is half Frey. Okay. Man, there's Freys everywhere. Freys in Rosbury too. Alright, let's get Aegon with 20,000 to move on in. And let's deal with this she-wolf. And let's try and bring in additional reinforcements too. Yeah, because Edmure is no more. So, it looks like the Waynwoods probably could rule. Marcella is learning Valyrian, which is interesting. Okay. And, okay, so... Oh, maybe in the north they were. Interesting. So, a half Frey, half Bolton is ruling the north. Oh, hang on, we're fighting for Riverrun now. Who's this? Jason the Red Eagle Mallister. It's not doing well. Looks like one of the Connington wants to help. Oh, Arik died. Oh no, he died in the battle for Riverrun. 41, he was a pretty good knight too. He's an absolute giant. Maybe that's why he got targeted. And we just lost there, by the way. Man, Aegon without his Dornish support is not doing well whatsoever. Timon 50, Mathos 49. I think I want to go with Morris. Although the others have better prowess, he's going to be on the Kingsguard longer. We just need to move back. Okay, so unfortunately, we've just lost to the Mallister. It seems like our enemy's vassals are doing quite well. A lowborn will rise to Kingsguard there. I guess we try and go back to try and take Riverrun. Who else can we bring in? It's just that prestige is so low. We can actually bring in Daenerys. Call a member of the house. She might now that Illyrio doesn't control her. But she's not... Yeah, she still has a liege. Which is interesting. Yeah, we're just allowing her to live in Pentos. Although she's my auntie. That line. Oh, wow, what's this? Prince Jon. Oh, a new Targaryen? Question mark. So, he's died, he's come back. And Prince Jon Snow. So we've got an option here. Oh, wow. I'm not entirely sure what to choose. I'm seated on the throne, ruling as I do, when a piece of news is offered to me in the seal of House Targaryen. As I read, my eyes widen with shock. It appears that Prince Jon of Dragonstone is in fact a Targaryen, like me, born to a union of Prince Rhaegar of the Iron Throne and Lyanna of the North during the War of the Usurper. He is known to be of royal descent. I look upon the parchment I was handed to. They see how it responds. A bit of family drama. Prince Jon has not acted against me, so we can... He shall be allowed to live out his days at the wall. He must be put under house arrest. Prince Jon may join my court. To note there's a station. Prince Jon has a claim. That is enough. I think... Because, like, legit, we know that, like, R plus L does equal J. Or, like, well, there's the whole baby swap thing is that Jon actually could be a Dane. Or maybe in the books that Daenerys was actually born at the Tower of Joy. Not Jon. There's all that stuff. But in the show, like, R plus L equals J. So I will offer him a position at my court. However, he might rival just against me. I think having a brother in another line... having him as the... second born son of Rhaegar, because I think technically if we look at the age, yeah, Aegon is older than Jon. So, yeah, we'll look to try and bring him in, but we'll see what he does, I guess. Okay, so we can ask him to renounce. The thing is, he's managed to lead a rebellion with the Night's Watch. I can't send him to the wall. I've got to get rid of him, I think, as an example. Oh, Dickon Tarly sword fealty to him, but we will get Kinslayer. Can't banish, can't... If we renounce him, he still can come back. Someone can use him as a support. I think, unfortunately, he wanted to become king. So, unfortunately, Jon Snow is no more. But we've managed to take Longclaw. Oh, okay, so things are going to work out well. Because we've got a Valyrian steel longsword now. Because Aegon doesn't have Blackfire or Dark Sister. But we've taken the lordship of Castle Black and the Wall. Interesting. So, okay. So now that's titles. Because he militarized the wall. We can create the title of the wall. So let's do that. Look, maybe we give it to a Targaryen to rule. Because the Night's Watch now is filled with those loyal to Jon Snow. And there was also that massive Lannister contingent. People forget about that. That got sent with Janos Slynt. That's probably what's going to do Jon in. A little bit more so. So I'm going to wield Longclaw here. The sword of House Mormont. So we got the Lordship of Castle Black. Maybe we need to give it to someone. So hang on, if I go grant to... Oh, we can grant it to someone. We can land someone. I could give it to Aenys, my son. And make the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch a heretical Targaryen rule. Like the ruler of the Night's Watch will be a Targaryen. It has to be. And they can come in and rule because that we can't allow them to vote and rise up again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly change the structure of the Night's Watch. So maybe a Targaryen will have to rule. So I think technically I can get Aenys to marry because now I've created it as a title. Okay, so my second born son, Aenys, will rule the wall. And I believe we're probably going to be able to allow him to marry too. So my firstborn son and heir, Rhaegar, will sit the Iron Throne. And yeah, I can actually get him married off. I think. Well, if they become eligible. So we'll make a Targaryen be Lord Commander. Okay, back down in the Riverlands, still have to deal with the House Tully / Stark alliance. But yeah, because the Night's Watch has rebelled, a Targaryen must sit there. Order restored. The Bastard Revolt has been crushed. He sits in the dungeons. Oh, so sometimes I feel like these events pop up. So we could have probably dealt with him. Well, we probably could have... well, I guess we would have not... Oh, we might have still got kinslaying. Sometimes this pops up and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes you're better off navigating through there. Alright, so the High Towers, the Tarleys, and everyone who joined him will be pardoned, essentially. Okay, so... Maybe the war with Arya emboldened him, especially when he... especially when the Stark / Tullys were doing quite well against me. But just like a Stark in the law, foolish and too honourable and gullible, I guess. Okay, so we're still... Okay, so we have to retake the part of the Riverlands now. Arya Stark is married to a member of House Piper, so let's move to Pink Maiden. And... Okay, so we're going to have to retake some of this territory. We might have to retake Riverrun too, which is annoying. Okay, let's split some of the army. Still making our way down to Strategist. And then we'll allow Arya Stark to hopefully bend the knee. Regent Mallister is helping. So, dear father, Aenys is going to be able to mobilize the Night's Watch for me, just to get those additional troops down. Okay. So, Pink Maiden is about to fall to Aegon Young Griff. 2 years this war's been raging on. The She-Wolf of Riverrun. We need a new Grand Maester. Oh no, unfortunately Pycelle is no more. He was being the guardian and tuteling Aenys at one point. Okay. Once we take this, we'll look to go north. Okay, right. So they're trying to siege out Riverrun. Come on. A new Grand Maester. Good. Come on, come on, come on. Nice. Oh, okay, so I think what happened is I think it reset once we had a peace with Jon. Shame we had to get rid of Jon Snow. I would have allowed him to... I don't know, maybe rule the north. The Boltons rule the north, so he probably wasn't too happy about that. The thing is, they're actually bringing stability. Roose is no longer alive. It's actually his eldest daughter now ruling. Ramsay holds Winterfell, but seems to keep the Northerners in check. There's no point of going to war just to overthrow them. Okay. Let's get some more additional reinforcements out. I thought we could get some more, but not overly too much. Okay, nice. Let's try and get the army that's split. Oh, I've had another daughter. Okay, so... Man, young Griff and Marjorie are pumping out children. They've had so many. Which is great. Arya Stark, defeated again. So 2 daughters now. We can marry those into other houses. We're not going to go down the Targaryen exceptionalism route. We don't want to anger the faith. Because, like I said, we want to try and bring peace to Westeros. We've conquered it without dragons. Okay. Former spouse. Interesting. I don't know how that computes. Let's move up to the Mallister's castle. What is it? Seaguard. Nice. Another victory. Okay, let's make sure I command, because I'm the best commander that I've got access to. Mustn't be too much longer now. Okay, they just ran into some rebels. Member of House Crab died. Let's speed things up and take Seaguard. Let's move to the crossings. We're just going through now and just taking the major castles. Yeah. Making sure that our castles haven't been recaptured. Nice, only a couple more castles. Alright, let's quickly move south to stop them trying to take this. Although we don't need to beat the army again, it's just to stop them from taking that territory. 4 years in the Riverlands. Aegon is about to bring them back into the Seven Kingdoms. Let's go down, try and take this castle. Nice. Damn, so what do we go for now? There's a major castle here. Let's go for this one. Take Lake Haven. Secret exposed. Not anyone I really overly care about. Okay, nice. Nope, not quite. I thought we had it. Wayfarer's Rest, maybe? Sappers. Whoops. Oh god, we're so close. Wayfarer's Rest. Strategic Impasse, let's go with both. Well, thank god those reinforcements came in. Wayfarer's West. Wayfarer's Rest is about to fall. So she does have a son of Stark blood, but really a yeah, okay, because there's like a Frey on the Vale seat ruling. Same with the North. Arya Stark now rules the Riverlands, so we need to ransom a bunch of these prisoners we won just in our recent war. So just to recap, young Griff landed, beat Tommen, got rid of him, sent Mace to the wall, beat Stannis, banished Cersei. Marcella now rules the Stormlands. Then we had to go against the Vale. Robert Arryn bent the knee. We have his son as a cupbearer. Back in the Riverlands, Arya Stark called herself Queen of the Riverlands. We got rid of her. She's bent the knee now. Has a son with a piper. The North, the Boltons are ruled by Roose's daughter. And then Jon Snow rose up and refused his position at my court. And we managed to get rid of him too. The Martells are just chilling with Tyrion. So it looks like Euron's son controls the Iron Islands. So going up against him is a bit better. Yes, so Robert Arryn, as you can see, rules the Vale. We need a new Spy Master. No one's been as good as Mace, but we'll go with you. Alright, so we can marry Rhaegar off, who's a little bit ill at the moment. Beautiful, quick. I think if we marry him to one of Tyrion's daughters, we can probably get like the intelligence trait. I'm not going to marry him to Rhaella or Daenerys or anyone else. A Reachman there. Yeah, genius. No, it's in genius, not intelligence. But yeah, it's already got that trait. The only problem is it's Tyrion's affliction we could get as a trait. That's the only concern. But looking at his children, like half of them don't look like him that much. Yeah, congenial traits. Intelligence, yeah. So we'll do that. We'll marry Rhaegar or betroth her to Tyrion's third-born daughter. So I think that won't be too bad. He's 45 now, yeah. The Red Sun. Interesting. Ariana Martell. So even like the Lannisters are ruling down here too. So the future ruler of Dawn will be half Lannister. Who would have thought? And already Marcella is married to Trystane too. So the next ruler of the Stormlands and the Riverlands will be half Martell. Interesting. Because the thing is, essentially everyone who supported Robert and his rebellion immediately died out. The Baratheons are no more. There's just not many of them left. Same with the Starks. Lord Crispin is my cupbearer, son of Robert Arryn and a Frey girl. So the Freys and the Lannisters, and I guess the Boltons win. Yeah, so Alysanne is Roose Bolton's firstborn daughter and heir. Oh, wait, Ramsay's died. Wait, Ramsay died. Oh, okay. And who's this? Lord Ulrich, legitimate of the Frey. Harlan Snow, illegitimate. Interesting. So she does have a daughter. And my son Aenys now rules the Night's Watch as Lord Commander. So can I look to marry him off yet? Yes, so he can get married. Yeah, so I think we'll go with like making the Targaryens rule there. Alright, so the Harlaws are rebelling against them. Interesting. Donna Harlaw. with the red the House of Rain sword. Okay, so Dunstan, half Lannister, is ruling the Iron Islands. Interesting. Alright, let's now move our rally point there, and let's go to war with the Iron Islands. We're going to go against Euron's son, who's half Lannister. Who would have thought? And we'll try and make him bend the knee. Marrying a, well, Lannister from Lannisport. A different line, if you want to be precise. Okay, let's call in our Martell and Ironwood allies, and then there's not really much else we can do. I guess we can go against the Harlaws technically, but for some reason I don't know why they're not a part of this war that we're doing. I guess they've declared their independence. For some reason Tarth is independent too. I think that's just when the game bugs a bit, because it just goes for so long. Because we did have to do the overview and run a mod to actually play as Aegon. There was a point where we could have played as Jon Snow. Maybe that would be a fun series to do in the future, when he declares his kingship against Aegon. I just don't know how we would win that one. Okay, we have landed in the Iron Islands and we're besieging Pike. The Martells are now here too, with my cousin Ariane, because technically Doran was my uncle, if you are to believe that Rhaegar is my father. Okay, so we're dealing with the Ironborn now. Just a little bit hard to navigate through here, but it looks like the Dornish are doing most of the work and heavy lifting as Red Harbour and Pike burns. Let's go down and try and engage some Greyjoys here. Nice. Let's move over to Pigsmith Castle, try and siege that out, and we'll start making our way across. Oh, apparently I've been ill here, but I've managed to push through it as we try to take the city of Bleakstone, a small Ironborn town. Alright, let's push to Tiller. Continue to siege, and we're just doing really well against the Iron Islands. A full-blown Greenland invasion, they're simply not ready for. Let's move south. The Ironwoods are really helping us out in this series. Yeah, I don't know if I should go against the Martells. Okay, so we've won, and we can take a political prisoner. So who's his son? Oh, we should definitely do that. Denny's his son and heir. Let's do... Can we take all three of them? No. Wards and hostages. We'll treat them well. Let's do that. Treat them like Theon. Okay, so the Wise Kraken, he's been named because he's bent the knee to the dragon. And that's it. It's all over. Alright, so the Seven Kingdoms and Dorne is back under our control. Aegon is still betrothed. Aenys needs to marry. Balon's now 12. Daemon, Daenerys, and Rhaella are Aegon's children. Let's have a look. So, oh wait, Marcella's died. Her daughter Ariane. Wait, how did she die? Oh, died in a storm. So a Martell branch now rules the Westlands and the Stormlands. Oh god, Stormlanders would actually hate that, and Baratheon loyalists, I suppose. So Trystane is ruling as a bit of a regent. So the Martell Targaryen alliance. So I guess they're just using her Baratheon Lannister blood. Okay, so the Martells do rule that. Willis rules the Reach. He has a son, Derek, who's 19. Loras is still on the Kingsguard, still married to Marjorie. Tyrion's hanging out in Sunspear. That's a good ending for him. I love that. Arya Stark has bent the knee. She is just a lady of Riverrun. Val and her son, half Piper. Robert Arryn is a little bit crazy. Another half Lannister rules on the Greyjoy seat. And Alysanne. And then my son is ruling the Night's Watch and keeping the realm safe. We'll try and get him married off and then make Targaryens rule that. So King Aegon now sits the Iron Throne of the Seven Kingdoms, and just has to deck out his royal court. Well, unfortunately on that note, it's time to end episode 5 here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode of the Crusader Kings 3 Game of Thrones modded campaign, starting on the Feast for Crows scenario. I guess we've gone through the Dance of the Dragons, and now we've got a Dream of Spring with Aegon Targaryen, young Griff, as our ruler. So I'm going to put a pin in the campaign here. We might move on to something else tomorrow. There's going to be an upload at some point. But let me know in the comments if you'd like to see episode 6. The thing is, it's probably a good point to end on now. There's not really much else we could do. We've dealt with the False Kings, Stannis, Jon, and then everyone else is mostly bent the knee. We could do the next reign, which would be quite fun. We've had to re-stabilize the Night's Watch. Daenerys is still alive. Her dragons are in Essos. She just hasn't crossed. With her children, with Illyria and Mom Patis. They've sort of made like a Blackfire, Bright Flame sort of branch over there, which is interesting. But anyway, let me know if you'd like to see episode 6. Should I go against the Dornish? They've helped me out so much in this series, and I'm half Dornish. I think we'll just let them have sort of some air of autonomy. The thing is, Targaryen's going down to Dorne always ends in tears and failure. So maybe my son Rhaegar, with his new Lannister Martell wife, might be able to do it. But we've managed to stabilize Westeros, bring peace and prosperity, and seat young Griff to the Iron Throne and conquer without fire and blood. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Stay tuned for more Crusader Kings 3 content on the channel. Let me know other campaigns you'd like me to do. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys for supporting me over the years. Really appreciate it. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.